Did you really bond with anyone backstage? I was trying to do some research in preparation for the interview, and I saw that maybe people felt like you rubbed them the wrong way. What's your take on that, and then who did you bond with?
Well, the funny thing is, I've heard that before, but it's always these like fifth-hand reports on some dirt sheet that happened, and so the guy who's leaking the information might not have been a fan of me, but who knows who that is. But I traveled a lot and bonded with Apollo Crews, Kalisto, Mojo Rawley. Oddly enough, I always got along real well with Claudio, with Cesaro. Another example would be I keep my first reaction is to call him Brody, but Luke Harper. It's kind of a funny story. We were staying at the same hotel, me, Luke, and Rick Victor, and they happened to stop in at the Denny's, at the same one that I'd stopped at to get dinner, because obviously it's right across the street from the hotel. And we literally just sat there, chatted for a few hours, had our food, whatever, and someone had commented, it's like, you're kind of a weird guy. They didn't mean it in a bad way. They were just saying it. I was like, I'm not a weird guy. They said, oh, yeah, you are. And I went, Luke, you had dinner with me last night, right? He's like, yeah. So was that weird? No, not at all. I was like, see? So it was one of those things where I actually got along real well with Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. Cena always seemed to get along with me. It's the weirdest thing. All it takes is one person saying something in public, and people tend to assume that it's 100% across the board. That's how it was. Mm-hmm. It'd be like if I go to a concert and I don't like the band and I'm reviewing the concert, I'll tell you, oh, this band sucks. There could be 65,000 people at the same concert who love the show, but you're just seeing the review that says from this one guy who happened to be there, oh, this band sucked. No one really likes them. Well, that's his opinion. That's not necessarily the opinion of everyone who's at the show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we started the conversation with comic books, and we all clicked immediately.
and that's the thing, is that it's very unusual that you're not going to get along with someone. I've never met anyone who's absolutely that much of a jerk that they didn't get along with anyone. There's usually at least one person you'll get along with, even if you're the worst person in the world. I mean, you have to remember, even serial killers have friends. They're always some of those monstrous people in history have someone who's like, oh yeah, he was a cool guy. We used to hang out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to put much stock in the reports like that, because it's one of those things where if I personally am in the middle of it and I'm not seeing it, I don't know who would say it.
Right. And speaking of those reports, I overheard one of the air shoots that Ryback made, claiming he was not very fond of you. So I was wondering, was there something that happened backstage between you two, or is it just we're just two different people?
We had next to no actual contact. It's really funny, because when someone was telling me this happened, or that he was saying this stuff, I was like, that seems really unusual. I don't even remember talking to him all that much, if at all. I think we had like one conversation on a bus in England. So I looked it up and I tried to find what it was. And the thing he actually credited it to, so this is him saying this, is that his last day in the company, which I don't know it's his last day. I don't know he's going to quit. He's just another day to me. I interrupted him while he was talking to Dolph Ziggler. And I thought back, and I was like, if this is the conversation I'm thinking of, I think it was John Cohn or one of the guys from Talent Relations was literally looking for Dolph, and I just saw him. I was like, oh, hey, Dolph, I don't mean sorry to interrupt, but have you had a chance to talk to Cohn yet? And he said, oh, yeah, I already talked to him. I said, okay, cool. And that was it.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I know. I literally even said, I don't mean to interrupt, but so it gets even better, because when I'm trying to find this out, because I was like, was that it? Was that really all that happened? Because I didn't remember anything else happening, and that was the only one I could think of. I come across this article from some, I don't know, it was like What Culture or No DQ, one of those sites. And it's like, Ryback says he forgives CM Punk, life's too short to hold grudges. So I'm thinking of so all the stuff Punk has said over the years about Ryback, all the intensely negative, whether they were true or not, I'm not judging, I don't know, I wasn't there, but for all the things he said about Ryback that were pretty inflammatory, that's forgivable. But one time, I had the audacity to apologetically interrupt.
That's unforgivable.
How dare I? I'm the worst person in the world, I know.